So, hi, I'm Charles. I run Kaleidoscope Rock Academy and Kaleidoscope School of Music in the Seattle area. I've taught about 2,000 students as a full-time guitar teacher since 1991 and over 60,000 guitar lessons. The purpose of this video is to give you 4 great tips for soloing and making up your own ideas over backing tracks so that you don't fall into a common pitfall which I see, which is people being so self-critical as they go about that process that they get in the way of actually learning how to solo. So the 4 tips, which I will demonstrate, are: first one is mechanical rhythm, or playing the scales in a mechanical rhythm. Second one is repetition. The third one is space, which sounds kind of funny. And the fourth one is experimenting with inflections. The idea is when you go to a backing track, instead of trying to create a great solo or a solo, you focus on one of these elements instead of just generally trying to solo. And as you focus on one of these elements, you'll pick up good skills that will help you with future improvisation, but you'll kind of disable that inner critic that says, oh, you're not making a great solo right now. Some of these are actually kind of funny, like you'll see when I'm playing nothing but slides for a minute. And that sense of humor also helps you disable the inner critic that wants you to somehow create a great solo even though you've not really worked much on soloing before. So as a demonstration, I'm going to play about a minute of each one of these ideas, and I'm doing it over top of my pop-punk backing track, which I will link in the description below. It's in the key of A major, but you can also use F-sharp blues. It depends on how you like to think about it. Most people like to think of a blues scale over a major pentatonic. So this is an F-sharp major, minor blues scale, which starts at the 2nd fret. It's the most common one that people know and try to use. You can also play the 14th fret up 12 frets or up an octave. So here's a quick description of each one of the approaches. First one is mechanical scale. So the idea is that you will play nothing but a particular rhythm over the backing track. So you don't have to come up with any interesting phrasing. All you're trying to do is listen to that rhythm being imparted by the drum machine or the drums and really sync to that rhythm. So if you were playing quarter notes, I'm just going to establish a random beat here. You also don't have to play just the scale in order, but the rule is you have to play all quarter notes. You also could do it with 8th notes. So I'm still trying to put attitude into it, but I'm limiting myself to only playing one rhythm at a time for at least a minute. And that builds up endurance. It helps you listen more to the drummer, because even a simple solo sounds better when it's locked into the rhythm section and the drummer. And it also, again, disables that inner critic. Okay, so first I'm going to do what I call the mechanical quarter notes. I'm counting this track like that's the quarter note. You could also count it double time, but we're going to keep it to that for this purpose. So here we go. I'm going to do about a minute, and I'm not going to do any retakes because this is improvisation, so it is what it is. Next one is repetition. The idea here is any idea you come up with, you have to repeat it. The goal is not to just wander around trying out ideas and discarding them left and right, but to actually develop ideas. Because a lot of times the development of an idea is what makes it interesting, not the original idea. It doesn't matter what it is. You might be able to sequence it to another string, but you can't abandon it until you've played it for a while. So I'm going to, whatever I pick. repeat it. Next one is space. Now this kind of, like repetition, it helps you avoid just casting around for ideas constantly, which happens when you're nervous and you're trying to somehow magically create this great solo. So if you leave some space, it's kind of like a conversation. You don't talk by endlessly stringing words together. You take breaths, there's pauses. So this lets the listener digest what you played, and again gives anything you played a little bit more meaning because you've left space around it. So, you know, you could be... This one will make more sense when you listen to my full example. I really like David Gilmour from Pink Floyd in this respect. He's got a lot of great solos on their classic albums where he just leaves what seems like an inordinate amount of space that lets the solo breathe and makes the next statement that you make have a little more impact. Even that super fast lick felt better because it was followed by space. It gave you a chance to reflect on, wow, that was amazing. Hope it was amazing. The last one is experiment with inflections, and the basic inflections are pull-offs, hammer-ons, slides. You can also do, so you can see that nothing but pinch harmonics, but we're going to stick to the simpler ones for right now. So for the duration of my example, I will stick to doing one inflection at a time, and I'm going to try to use that inflection as much as possible, which can get kind of silly. But again, another great way to develop some endurance, some new ideas, and disable the inner critic. thank you for watching.